Rachel Zegler's Snow White is going belly up at the box office this weekend, but we're here to tell you that Disney was no friend to this film in terms of marketing. In fact, it looks like the white flags were already up even before Snow White had a chance. Today, we'll show you what Disney was doing as they were turning the page and giving no chance to poor Rachel Zegler. Hello, folks, and welcome back. It is a joy to have you joining us here on the Pro Channel, where we, as ever, endeavor to explain entertainment. Hey, Culture Curve, we keep you ahead of it. Folks, as we get ready to get started today, consider clicking the like button. We're going to get underway, taking a look at how the Walt Disney Company secretly, maybe even semi-publicly, was moving on from Snow White even before it was moving on the very first silver screens. Get ready, folks. It's an exclusive, and we're starting right now. Looky, looky, what's come our way. Valiant Renegade. He has discovered something, folks, that should make Rachel Zegler shudder, and that is that even before Snow White had released to silver screens, Disney was already moving on. Here's what he says. All of these posts are from this morning. This was yesterday. Disney has already shifted marketing from Snow White. They already know. Take a look at it, folks. At the same time that they should have been promoting Snow White, what did they do? Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest experiment of all? Lilo and Stitch. Next up, bibbity bobbity boop. Uh-oh, they're going to get in trouble for that one too. Lilo and Stitch. Then they had He is Beauty, He is Beast. Lilo and Stitch. And finally, You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Stitch. Hashtag Lilo and Stitch. It is very unusual, ladies and gentlemen, for Disney to begin marketing a movie before the next movie is out. In other words, this should be all in, all hands on deck, help Snow White get the win, and instead, they've gone to Experiment 626. They are completely and totally out of this thing when it comes to the dwarves, the bandits, and, the Baroness who keeps on telling us that we should free certain areas of the Middle East. No, they want to go to the little blue alien to save the day. Panel, what do you think about the fact that Disney had already given up on Snow White even before she had hit the silver screen?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty common for a studio the 24 hours before a major movie hits to start hyping another movie right as the review embargo for said movie is about to end.
Yeah. They're already wanting to forget about it even before it had a chance to percolate in their memory.
It's not so unusual for a trailer, for example, to hit right before a major film comes out. That way you can have that same trailer play in front of that major movie that you're having hit theaters. But to actually hype a movie to this degree with multiple posts, and by the way, this is just limited to X. I saw a similar post on Instagram and maybe even TikTok in there. I don't know. I don't go on there. But we have
tickety talkities. Is that right, Vash?
I stay away from tickety talkities. Not so good on there. But to have this kind of marketing push for this specific film, it is very unusual right before Snow White actually comes out, and well, we all know what the costs associated with that are. The buzz for this film is palpable. I think they're riding that momentum wave right there. If we go back to Valiant Renegade's post there, we can actually see that first poster that features Snow White.
Real quick, Vash, let me just point this out, and then you keep rolling.
Yep.
Lilo and Stitch right now, folks, 172,000 likes to 22,000 dislikes. That is a tremendously positive ratio.
Yep.
Almost 10 million views in 7 days. This is why they want to get away from Snow White. 58,000 likes, 1.7 million dislikes. They haven't got, there's no way to get out of this except just to get out of it and get out of it by ignoring it. All right, now let's let Vash finish his point. Vash, which one did you want?
The Snow White one, if you could. It says not another bad. The tag on there says not another bad apple, which is really, really interesting to have that tag on there. Because you could take that multiple ways, and people have already taken that in the ways that they have on social media and so forth. I mean, combined, and Rachel Zegler is bad enough. We all know that. But I was actually surprised at how much hate right now Gal Gadot is actually getting. We saw when she was getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame right there in front of the El Capitan Theater that there was a protester there for her, and I've seen a lot of hate directed her way on social media as well. So I do think Disney's wanting to, clear the hands of this and move on.
Well, I mean, look, Vash, there's a lot of controversy going on. Rachel Zegler has attacked half the country, said that people that disagree with her politically should never know peace, used promotional, posts for this film to, advocate for personal politics. But Gal Gadot said, "I'm Gal and I'm Jewish." So,
Well,
and that's,
there shouldn't be any controversy with that, but there is. Go ahead, Coach.
No, the only thing I was going to say is, look, I mean, at this point, the reason that Gal's getting it is because Disney's famous now, or infamous now, for going after their own actresses. And, following up on Gina Carano, are they going to try to, Gina Carano, Gal Gadot, are they going to not work with her again? Are they going to demonize her? Are they going to allow her to be demonized? Remember, Disney has been pleaded with by all the left-wing crazy wackadoos for a long time to protect the actresses that are, have been gaslighted into our midst via race swaps or gender swaps or any of these other things. And so, for Gal just being herself and having, her immutable characteristics and her faith, of course, Disney should be taking, to task the fact that she exists. I mean, that's their jam now. That's their brand. And I think that this effort here with Lilo and Stitch, to bring it back to this conversation, is that Disney knows what's going to be popular and they know what's not. And we know that they know that Snow White was not going to be popular. What they were doing with their quote unquote reimagining bologna sausage and Snow White, which is what that was all about, wasn't going to be popular. And whether or not you believe that the window has shifted, it has. And culturally, it's moving even farther and farther the other direction. And Disney is going to be playing catch up. So, of course, they're going to start building on the hype of something they know is going to be successful and they know the audience is going to like. They want to make Disney popular again. Well, it's going to be hard. But if they hop on one successful thing that they do, maybe it won't be as hard. I don't know. But what's really funny is you would think they would also be going into the promotion of this Elio thing. And that really is soft right now.
Tell us about the Elio thing, Culture. What are you talking about?
Elio's a Pixar movie that they've been trying to make for I don't even know how long, with a lot of false starts and half complete work and, completely redirecting a lot of the plot lines and everything else. Vash, that's been going on for what, 5 years now?
Oh, yeah. It's been going a long time.
I mean, this is a project. Years, yeah, it was announced 6 years ago at a D23 or 5 years ago at a D23. I want to say it was 2019 that was where we saw this. So they've had this thing in the works forever, but they can't afford another Pixar disaster, which is one of the reasons why the animated program that recently aired about the softball team, the co-ed softball team, kids, got adjusted and they removed the woke elements of that. I have a feeling that Elio had to go through multiple woke removals, and I have a feeling that they know what doesn't sell and they know what's going to further deteriorate the brand. Lilo and Stitch won't do that.
Inside Out was a major wake up call for them, I think.
It was.
Well, that's why over at Pixar you started to see it right away. Elio started getting chopped up.
Yeah.
The Disney Plus show about the baseball team all of a sudden started getting
Win or
chopped
lose.
up.
Win or lose.
Win or
That's
lose.
what
That's it. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Hopper,
but yeah,
as well.
Hopper. Well, is that the one with the beaver?
No, it's the one where that the chick that can pass into other animals or something. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the beaver.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
beaver.
okay. I don't know.
Hold the straight face, Culture. Don't do it. Don't do it.
They've learned their lesson. I think, and they're scrambling to try and save face, because it's the difference between $1 billion box office and a $300 million box office, and they know that now. There's definitive proof, and Lilo and Stitch is going to be the ultimate proof, because they're already kind of starting with people aren't going to go see Snow White because they don't like women of color. Well, if Stitch makes $1 billion, that's two women of color right there. Or they're gonna say, people are just tired of the Disney live action remakes. Well, if Stitch makes $1 billion, then that's a wrench in the gears of that. So I think Stitch is going to be a disruptor.
It will, and it'll be a realization that if you make a faithful shot-for-shot representation of a beloved property, you win, which they already know. We know, they know, we know, they know.
That's right. By the way, Culture, you brought up Elio and potential reshoots, which I don't know if that's what we should call it with CGI, but, redoing it however. One of the problems that is going to plague Snow White is that it's obviously stitched together two movies. It's completely obvious. No, folks, I have not yet seen it. I'm about to, but I've talked with people, and it's like a very ugly quilt where the pieces don't connect and should never have been put in twain. But Culture, this is what I think might be one of the problems Disney has going forward is they can try to change, but in doing so, they're going to have to remodify, transmogrify those properties that are coming out for the next year or two. And it may actually diminish the quality, even if they're trying to do the right thing qualitatively for the message.
Yeah, I think they're going to struggle with that because and this is something we've had conversations about in all of our shows, and especially here and on that Park Place, is the fact that a lot of this material is 3 to 5 years old that we're going to be dealing with over the next 2 to 3 years. The production cycle takes forever, and changing things, editing things, reworking things takes time and more money. And Disney's going to be stuck going back in the past trying to transmogrify, or whatever term you want to use, the old material to make it, at least acceptable to the audiences. And again, the Overton window like decided to go from here to there crazy fast, and Disney isn't equipped to react that quickly. So I have a feeling that we may see other projects delayed a little bit here and there, maybe a few months, because they've got to clean them up. Think about how many times Snow White was delayed.
Yeah.
So I think you're right.
I mean, it's if the Walt Disney Company was actually keeping track of the temperature of the room, they would have realized that these things were going to be changing up pretty good. They did not until, obviously the election, and that pretty much sealed the deal right there. But that's the thing, Culture. I mean, are we just throwing good money after bad? Even with all the changes to Snow White, doesn't seem like it's going to save that picture. And maybe Disney's thinking that as well. They're in a very precarious situation right now, because I don't know whether it's worth maybe the effort to retool these films if, in fact, the early word on the street about them is that they're not going to appeal to audiences.
Yeah, it's already. I mean, we can already show that it's been good money after bad in the case of Snow White. The question is, are there other projects in production currently that they could fix? And the question is, do they see this coming enough that Thunderbolts isn't going to suffer from it? My argument would be the entire Thunderbolts movie is a DEI reclamation project for those characters, so I think they're kind of stuck with that. But could they fix Fantastic Four? Well, if we hear about some major reshoots coming up, maybe. But we're running out of time for both Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four disaster that's about to happen. So, but again, this is what it all comes down to. You have a limited amount of time to make your things, and you have a limited amount of time to make your fixes. And I think Disney, we may see delays.
That's right. Folks, don't be shocked if there's not a lot of Thunderdolts, not a lot of other Disney stuff being marketed. It's all Stitch all the time. Yeah. That's one where they know they've got the win. They just don't understand what it is that's causing people to love it. We really hope that you felt this video was satisfactual. We know we had an actual good time participating and communicating with each and every one of you out there listening. It is a great honor. It is a great pleasure, even a responsibility to do this on a daily basis. You give us the dream job we love doing, and for that we can never say thank you enough. There's only one small favor we ask beyond what has already been done, and that is, folks, consider it. That is clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts, because your thoughts do indeed matter, no matter what the mainstream media would otherwise say. Folks, as we say every single time we end these videos, because we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.